Hi, and welcome to another video. This week I'll be experimenting with some quick colour studies using the colours that I was experimenting with in a previous video, which I'll link here. So I was trying to bring in some more vibrant colours as we move into the summer season, and I was experimenting with Prussian blue, quinacridone magenta, cad red, cad yellow, and these are the mixes that I'd created. So I'd now like to explore how these might sit together in a composition by doing some quick colour studies. And I do this quite a lot, so these are some that I've done before, and it's just about experimenting how the colours sit alongside one another and where they might be used in the composition. So experimenting with the contrast between colours, the merging of the colours, and just generally getting a feel for how the colours might create a piece. So these vibrant pops of orange were an emphasis of this piece against this pale green yellow. So I'd like to try that today using these colours and explore how they sit alongside one another, how they blend together, and how generally they fit into a composition. So I think I'll try out two studies today. I've just got some mixed media paper, and the first combination that I want to really experiment with, these vibrant greens, this lovely yellow ochre shade, and these blues as one composition, and then potentially another one is with these blues and the magenta shades and a bit of green. I think I'm not potentially going to use these ones, as I do tend to use this peachy shade quite a lot, so I want to experiment with something a bit different this time. So I'll start my usual way by wetting the paper just with a bit of a spray bottle. And then just dripping some water onto the paper as well. I quite like the unpredictability of doing that, adding splats of water onto the page that then the paint can react with. And so the dark shade that I'll be using was this Prussian blue mix with burnt umber. So I've not really used this before as a base for the composition. If I get some of this down. And I've not really mixed the colours too well on the palette, because I quite like this variation that you get by seeing the different shades. So you can see quite a lot of the burnt umber here. And I'm really not trying to be precious about composition here. It's all about experimentation and play, so don't try to think that these will produce final pieces. Just use it as an opportunity to play around with colours and just see what you can create with them. I think we always pressurise ourselves a bit too much to produce a final amazing piece, but the experimentation and the play is really where you learn a lot. So then I have the Prussian blue just mixed with white, and I'll try a bit of that in the sky area. So I already really like this burnt umber mixed with the Prussian blue to create this dark shade. I think that's really nice, and that could become a replacement sometimes for the Payne's grey that I'll typically use. Now I want to add a bit more of this neutrally grey tone, which was mixed with the Prussian blue, the burnt umber and some white. And those tones in the sky, I'm really starting to enjoy. And I'm not really letting the paint dry too much on the paper, so I can sort of merge it together, blend it a bit more. And I've also, something that I love to do is using a very dry brush to scumble and blend the colours together. And it just creates this lovely effect. And I do annoy myself sometimes because I always fill the paper, but you don't have to. You can leave areas of white blank paper if you'd like to. So now I'll introduce a bit of the vibrant green shades that were a mix of the cad yellow and the Prussian blue, and then adding burnt umber into these two. So that's just lifted the piece really nicely. I love that. Just those quick brush marks there. I sort of don't want to lose that energy, but then this is all about playing with colour, so I'm not really trying to create a composition here. I need to tell myself that. So these colours here are already capturing quite a summery scene for me, like summer fields possibly, when the greens are dying down a bit more. They're not bright, fresh spring greens, they're more summery, warmer greens. And the sky, I think that's working quite well. It needs something else in the sky, but I'm not sure what yet. So we'll try the burgundy shade on this one. See that? Pop against that vibrant green is lovely. I really like that. So I'm really not trying to be precious here at all, just getting the colours onto the page, seeing how they merge together, seeing how they might form together to create a sky, land, and just getting a general feel for how the colours work together. And something that I'm always trying to do in my paintings is to not create too obvious a horizon line. So where is the horizon? I'm always blurring that dividing line. So I'm actually really happy with this one and how the colours are working together with the vibrant greens and the more muted blues. So that colour combination of these greens with these blues, I know that works now, so that's something I can incorporate into my pieces. This one, I'm not so sure about it really. I like the darker areas of burgundy against these vibrant areas of green. I think in the sky it's perhaps not working as well. I think it's these purpley tones that I'm not sure about, so I might try and warm those up a bit more. So that was with the quinacridone magenta and burnt umber. So adding a bit more burnt umber will warm it up a bit more. So those purple tones, now I've warmed them up a bit more, that feels a lot better for me in the sky. And I've not actually used this yellow tone that I really liked. I think it will work better in this piece, so I might add a pop of that. I think there's a bit too much going on in this piece. And then I've got a Neo colour too that's quite a similar shade as well. So just a few movement lines. Add in, and of this olive green, which is very similar to the olive greens that I've been mixing. So I won't go on forever with this because it's really just about learning the colours, seeing how they sit together. So I think I've done that. I'm not too happy with these purpley tones. I think I need to work on that a bit more, but the contrast of the yellowy greens with these blue tones, I really like that. So if you'd like to have a go at these colour studies too, then just don't be too precious, I would say. Just experiment and play, see how the colours sit alongside one another, get a feel for the colours really. It's not about creating a final finished piece, it's about seeing how you would apply these colours in your work. So I hope that was useful, and as always, thank you so much for watching.